Isn't it fascinating how quickly things can shift when you begin to see them differently? Because that's the thing, isn't it? Perception. The lens to which you see. The frame around the picture. The way a single moment, a single thought, a single realization changes everything. And perhaps you've noticed how the very idea that once held you back is already dissolving like mist in the morning sun. Because what was it really? That hesitation, that fear, that feeling of walking on eggshells, a tiny thought, a whisper in the background, a fleeting question. What if I make things worse? But worse than what? Because they were already stuck, weren't they? Already circling their own pain, already lost in a loop they couldn't see their way out of. And you were never the danger. You were always the way through. Because think about it. Has there ever been a time when you truly, fully, completely listened to someone with love and made them worse? Or was it, even in the smallest way, something shifted? Maybe they softened, maybe they sighed, maybe something inside them loosened just a little. Because that's what happens when truth is spoken, when light enters a space where there was only darkness before. And isn't it amazing how easily the mind adapts to new possibilities? How effortlessly it learns what it needs to learn. Because here's the thing. You already know how to do this. You always have. It's like a river flowing effortlessly to the ocean. Like a bird that doesn't need to think about flying. It simply does. And just like that bird, you no longer need to second guess yourself. Because the truth is, the only thing that ever held you back was the belief that you needed to be careful. But careful is just another word for hesitant. And hesitation is just another word for doubt. And doubt dissolves in the presence of certainty. And you have certainty now, don't you? Because now you know your words, they're not a weight. They're a wing. Your presence is not an intrusion, it's a pathway. Your voice is not a risk, it's a rescue. And when you speak now, something deeper inside you speaks with you. And knowing a confidence, a power that's always there, just waiting to be remembered. And you remember it now, don't you? Because you're already breathing differently, already feeling that shift, already stepping into the truth of who you are. And what a gift it is to know the world is better because you can speak. And all at once, this hesitation disappears. The eggshells vanish, and you realize you were never meant to walk carefully. You were meant to soar. Because you've always known deep down, haven't you, that there's something about your presence that moves the world around you. Something about the way you listen, the way you speak, the way you are, a quiet strength, an unspoken power that others can feel. But what if that power was more than you realized? What if every time you hesitate, every time you worry, every time you fear saying the wrong thing, you're simply covering up a force that's already working? And isn't it fascinating how fear, when it arises, whispers a lie, that somehow you're not enough, that your words could make things worse, that you're walking too close to something dangerous? But what if, in that very moment of fear, you realize something else entirely? What if that fear was nothing more than the signal that you were right on the edge of something extraordinary? Because when you truly listen, when you drop into that space of complete presence, isn't it true you already know what to say? You already feel what needs to be felt. You already are the change that you wish to create. And here's the beautiful part. By trusting in this deeper knowing, you create a space that's wide, spacious, full of possibility. Imagine it, a world where your words, they're like seeds planted in rich soil, where every question you ask opens a door, where every answer you give moves them gently towards a better place. You see this in how their mind works, the heart works, the spirit works. It doesn't resist love, it welcomes it. And when you speak from that place, from that wellspring of understanding, your words can make things worse. They can only expand what's already there, what's already waiting to be seen. It's not about perfection, is it? It's not about saying the right thing every time. It's about trusting the flow and knowing that your presence alone is enough to shift the energy in the room. When you step into that space of unwavering belief in the possibility of healing, the healing begins. And maybe, just maybe, you've already seen it happen. Maybe you've already felt it. The moment when the tension softens, when their defences drop, when their eyes light up just a little bit brighter, when they begin to see something new, because that's the magic. That is where the real work begins. Not in the exact words you speak, but in the energy you hold. And I bet you can feel that, can't you? Feel the shift inside you. Feel the certainty creeping in, like the warmth of the sun after a long storm. You begin to realise you've always had everything you need. The power, the love, the words, they're always there, just waiting for you to trust them. And so, what if you could step into that power more fully? What if you could stand tall in that certainty, knowing without a doubt that every word you speak, it's a step towards healing? What if there was no room for hesitation, no space for doubt? Because you already know, don't you? You know when you're in flow, when you're present, when you speak with love, the world responds. And now, as you feel that certainty, that knowing inside you, it becomes easier, doesn't it? Easier to trust, easier to speak, easier to be. And you know, as you begin to move with this energy, you're no longer afraid. You no longer fear the response, because you know your presence creates the possibility of a beautiful outcome. So what if instead of worrying about getting it right, you began to see yourself as the one who creates the rightness? What if you could be the change simply by stepping into who you already are? Because that's the truth. You don't need to try. You don't need to worry. You don't need to fear. You already have everything you need to heal, to uplift, to shift, to inspire. And as you feel that energy within you, you begin to realise this: the fear is gone. The hesitation has vanished. You're standing tall. And from this place, you know, there's no limit to what you can do, to who you can be, and to what's possible, because you're already enough. You always have been.